Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, or what I hope will be Sunday's edition, because I am going to enter into these familiar battles with the constructor IcyFruit today. A puzzle called Icebreaker. Now, the really exciting thing about this puzzle is it only has 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty. I say only, I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but it does mean it's probably a lot easier than some of the IcyFruit puzzles I've battled with in the past, many of which are responsible for the longest videos we've ever published on the channel. So there's one that's longer than the extended edition of Return of the King, one that's longer than the extended edition of The Two Towers, and there are other sort of 3.5, 4 hour magnum opus videos. But this one, I've got some comments. I snipped them from Logic Masters. Let's have a quick look. There was one I really liked. Mihail 1111 says, "Sometimes the Lord has mercy on our poor little brains," which makes me think that this one might be easier. Really cool break-in, says Anti-Knight. Damo89, is that Damasosos? That might, but probably is. New achievement unlocked. First IcyFruit completed. This is not brutally hard to solve, but I can't imagine how hard it was to set. Absolutely brilliant, says Elena Monte. I don't know how to say that name. Anyway, this should be it should be a lot of fun in inverted commas, but I am really looking forward to trying it. IcyFruit is a complete genius, so it is a pleasure and a privilege when we get the chance to try one of their puzzles. Now, let me think about some other things I can tell you about before we kick off and read the rules together. There are a few things going on. Firstly, tomorrow there is going to be a bonus video on the channel. I have been set a puzzle by the mighty Jane Street. It's a very cool puzzle indeed, actually. It's sort of got cryptic crossword elements, puzzle hunt elements. I won't tell you how long it takes me, but that video will go live 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow, and of course you'll have the chance to try the puzzle yourselves. Definitely do have a go at it. You will really enjoy it. Also tomorrow, but this time later in the day, 10 p.m. UK time, we are streaming, of course. I forgot to mention that yesterday. I scheduled the stream a couple of days ago. We're going to be trying more blueprints for the 20th time, I think, no less. Our 20th visit to that mad mansion. So love to have your company for that if you're free. Over on Patreon, the solution videos to this month's competition are out as well. So if you did get stuck on any of the puzzles, do check those out. We do need to draw a winner, which we will do imminently as well. And I'll announce that on the channel probably tomorrow. And I've got a couple of birthday type announcements. One of them is an actual birth, though. So I'd like to say a huge congratulations to Mike and Debbie on the arrival of baby Elizabeth, who was born on Friday. And you might wonder how on earth I know this. Well, I know this because Mike's brother Patrick wrote me an email. I think Mike's been watching the channel for quite a while, and Patrick's also becoming keen on this wonderful hobby that we share. And maybe little baby Elizabeth will get into it in due course as well. So Mike and Debbie, absolutely fantastic news. Delighted for you both. An actual birthday. Now I've got another birthday to do, and you'll forgive me, Alan, if I say that your birthday is it's still going to be auspicious, but not quite as auspicious as an actual birthday. But down there in Melbourne, it's Alan's birthday. Melbourne, one of my favourite places to go in the world. And Alan was even kind enough to say he'd be prepared to meet me at a party, that's going up above and beyond the call. But Alan, thank you for the kind words. I hope you have a great birthday down there. You've probably got a lot better weather than we have here in Surrey today. It has been absolutely foul. And I hope the chocolate cake is up to scratch. That's all the news. Let's have a look at the puzzle. Icebreaker by IcyFruit. the rules are quite short. They are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, which means we'll have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. A digit cannot appear more than its own number of times across all the lines in the grid. For example, there cannot be more than 6 sixes placed on lines. Okay, because if there were 7 sixes on lines, 7 is a larger number than 6, and that's not going to be allowed by the rules. So that's very weird, isn't it? So, for example, the number 3, you could only put 3 3s on all the lines, and you don't have to put 3 of them. You could only put 2 of them. That, I mean, it's instantly strange and sort of puzzling. But anyway, that's a rule. There are 2 more rules. Adjacent digits on a green line differ by at least 5. So normal German whispers rule. So if this digit's a 1, this digit has to be at least 6 in order to be sufficiently different from the digit 1. So it would be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And digits along a purple line form a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So if this is a 1 in the centre of the grid, this line has to contain the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in order to form a consecutive set without repeats. If this was a 9, this would have to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And they are all the rules. So this line doesn't have a rule, except that it's a line, I suppose. So it's still subject to the funny rule, the overarching rule, which is, so it contributes to the sort of number of lines in the puzzle, the number of cells on lines, but it doesn't actually have an express rule for a grey line. So it's not a palindrome. Well, obviously it couldn't be a palindrome, but it's not a palindrome or a 10-line or anything. It's simply a line. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So, I mean, my first temptation here is to just add up the number of line cells, because that's got to have some relationship to the secret, hasn't it? And let's talk about the secret. If you don't know the secret of Sudoku, do not worry, I will share it with you. I tell my very favourite people the secret of Sudoku, and if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is the number 45. And that is because 45 is the sum of the digits 1 to 9. So we know that 45 is the sum of a row, we know it's the sum of a column, we know it's the sum of any individual box. But in terms of this puzzle, it's also the maximum. A puzzle with this rules could not have more than 45 line cells, could it? Because if there were 46 line cells, how would we obey the rules? There could be 9 9s on lines, that would be allowed under the rules. There could be 8 8s on lines, there could be 7 7s on lines, 6 6s on lines. So for each digit we're adding its own number to the total to create the maximum. So we're adding 9 to 8 to 7 to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. And we're getting 45. Now here we've got lots of lines that are size 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think there are 6 lines. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. 2, 3, 4. So there's 6 lines of size 5. That's 30. And then 3 little lines, each of size 3. So 39 cells on lines. So that is instantly interesting. And don't joke. Alan said he wanted to meet me at a party. The reason I think that's interesting is that there must be some 9s, some 8s, and some 7s on lines now. There must be. Because imagine, for any one of, let's take the digit 7. Imagine there was no 7 on any line in this puzzle. Well, then the maximum the other digits could sum to is 45, which is the secret, minus 7, which is 38. And that would mean we couldn't populate the lines. because there are 39 line cells. So there must be some 7s, there must be some 8s, and there must be some 9s. Now, does that mean that that's got to be a 9? No, well, maybe. So that... No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. I was thinking erroneously. I was thinking poorly. Okay, so what I was thinking was, 9 is a digit on a line, and therefore there must be 9 9s on lines. That's not true. There are up to 9 9s on lines. So they don't have to be exactly 9 9s. If there had to be exactly 9 9s on lines, then that would be a 9. Because there is a 9 in this box, and the only place in that box that's on a line is there. So it might be that this is a 9, but I don't think logically it has to be. Actually, that's weird. So, hang on. Sorry, I know I've stopped talking. It's because I'm just trying to... I'm worrying now. I'm worrying that this is less tractable than I'd hoped it was going to be a moment or two ago. So there are some number of 9s. Well, how... So if there was the maximum number of all digits, except for 9s, the other digits could deal with 36 of the cells, couldn't they? So if we put 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s, 4 4s, all the way through up to 8 8s, that would add up to 36. There are 39 cells, so there are at least 3 9s. That's 3 9s is no use at all. You could put 2 9s on that thing. That's got no rules attaching to it. So actually, I'm now thinking that 9s, it might be that it's the low digits that we have to consider here. Yeah, that might be a better way of approaching it. So, but the thing is, we don't know there's a 1. I was thinking if there was 1 1 on a line, then you could never repeat 1 on the line. You could only have 1 1. So there's at least 8 1s in the puzzle that are not on lines. And maybe 9. Or, well, although the whispers have to have a lot of low digits on them. Okay, well, no, I'm wrong again. Bobbins. No, I was about to say, no, well, hang on, am I wrong? No, I am wrong. No, I'm definitely wrong. Oh, I thought I had a clever idea. What I was going to say is that there are 20 cells of German whispers in the puzzle. And I was about to use that to make an allegation that is entirely false. I'll try and explain the way my mind worked in order for you to understand how stupid it was. So what I was going to say is, I'll have to reveal some secrets about German whispers lines to explain this. A German whispers line, because the adjacent digits on it differ by 5 at least, you can't put 5 on it, ever. In fact, maybe that's what we've got to think about. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a moment. Because if you put 5 on it, the next digit is impossible, because it has to be at least 5 different from 5, and there are no Sudoku digits that meet that criteria. If you go downwards, you get to 0 or negative numbers, and if you go upwards, you get to 10 or 11 or 12, and they aren't Sudoku numbers either. So no 5s on these lines. What that means is that every digit on a green line has the property of either being below or above 5. And the crucial thing to realise is you can't put two low digits adjacent on the line, for example, because if this is 1 2 3 4, i.e. it's below 5, can this also be below 5? No, because the furthest these can be apart is 3 if they were 1 and 4, and they are not 5 apart therefore. So what you get is this oscillation. You know, if this was low, the line would do this. Now, my simple brain then said, aha, okay, well, I've got 20 cells of German Whispers lines, so I'm going to oscillate high-low amongst those 20 cells, so I must have 10 low digits. And there can only be 10 low digits on lines in this puzzle. How do I know that? Well, think about the low numbers, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 1 is saying there's 1 1 on a line, maximum. The 2 is saying there's 2 2s on the line, maximum. The 3 is saying there's 3 3s on the line, maximum. And the 4 is saying there's 4 4s on the line, maximum. So that's 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. However, that is absolutely bogus. Because what would happen if you always put, because these are 5-cell lines, if you always put the high digits in these positions, so if all of those were high, so you made the ends of the lines 6, 7s, 8s, 9s, then there are only 8 cells in the middle to be the low digits. So it's not true you can't just say 20. See, my brain went, okay, 20 cells of German Whispers, they're all oscillating low-high, therefore 10 low digits. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Now there's still some restriction though, because what this shading we've just done shows us is that there are an absolute minimum of 8 low digits on these German Whispers lines. It is impossible for there to be less than that. And I suppose it's impossible for hang on a moment. Well, I was going to say it's impossible for 4 of the lines to have the opposite shading to this. So I've used orange to indicate high and blue to indicate low. Imagine orange was low though. That would be saying there are 12 low digits on the green lines, which there can't be. There's a maximum of 10. But hang on. No, there's some other problem here. There's another problem here, because what I hadn't thought through, this arrangement that I've got on the screen here right at the moment doesn't work, and therefore there's some additional constraint. And the way I can see this doesn't work is I've put high digits at the ends of all the lines. I've got 8 blue cells as a result, 8 low digits to put. But none of these blue cells can be 4. And so that goes back to another secret about Whispers lines. If this was a 4, how would you surround it? The only way would be double 9. 4 is monogamous. It can only partner up with a 9 on a German Whispers line. And these lines are all straight. Well, the kink. Oh, actually the kink. Well, no, the kink. Hang on. No. Yeah, you still, it's the places, the kink could be a 4, but these can't be 4s. These can't be 4s. These can't be 4s. The middle of a 3-cell straight segment can't be a 4. So, yeah, okay. So the way to think about this is this, I think. So do we agree? We should agree, I think. This arrangement on screen is impossible. Because, let's think about the digits 1, 2 and 3. There's a maximum of 6 such digits on these green lines. 1 1, 2 2s, 3 3s. And that means that within this arrangement, if we had this arrangement, at least 2 of these digits are 4s, and none of them can be 4s. So this doesn't work. Now, what would happen though if we had 3 of these digits? So let's say we did these 3, and we said 3 of them have to be have high digits in their extremes. Well, we know that all of these internal blue digits would have to be 1s, 2s and 3s. None of them can be 4s because they would be surrounded by double 9. Then how on earth do you fill the final whispers line? There's no way to do it. We know we can't have 4s internal to the sequence because they're going to be surrounded by double 9s. So we'd have to make these all the low digits, and they'd all have to be 4s. And that's not going to work because the ends are always going to see the middle. This is very cool. This is very cool because what this means... Well, hang on. Okay, so what I've just proved is that at least... Yeah, this is it. We've reached an equilibrium. Because what we've now proved is that in terms of the... This is so ridiculous, IcyFruit, by the way. We've now proved that it's not possible for 3 of these 4 German whispers lines to have high digits at their ends. Therefore, a maximum of 2 of these German whispers lines have high digits at their ends. But it can't be more than 2 that have high digits at their ends. Or it can't be more than 2 because we've shown that's impossible. It can't be less than 2 because if it was less than 2, the property, if you put the low digits at the ends, is you use up 3 of them. And we've now shown that there are at least two German whispers lines on which you are putting low digits at the end. Now that consumes 6 low digits. And the other 2 whispers lines then are always going to take at least 2 low digits each, even if they have high digits at their ends. So that's the only way we can do it, because we can't exceed this notional cap of 10 low digits on the German whispers lines. We can't. So now the way to have avoided the cap was to put high digits in the extremes, but we've worked out we can't do that for more than 2 of the German whispers lines. So I'm not sure where this leaves us, but I do know where this leaves us. What it means is that in the total panoply of German whispers lines in this puzzle, exactly 2 have high digits at their ends. So, for example, like this, and exactly 2 have low digits at their ends. But the consequence of, in fact there's more than one, but one consequence of that is that the German whispers lines use up all of the low digits in the puzzle, because there are going to now be 10 low digits on the German whispers lines. And therefore, this this Renban, which is a set of consecutive digits, has no 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s on it. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These Renban lines have no 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s on them. So they are 3-cell sequences from the digits 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So they've all got 7 on them. They must do. They're either 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9. Now 7 in row 7 has to be in one of those cells. Oh, this is sick. This is really clever. Now. Well, no, the other thing I wanted to think through. Yeah. In fact, yes, we must do this thinking. Yeah. So because we have worked out that all low digits in this puzzle, well, we've worked out there are 10 low digits on the German whispers lines. We now know there are 4 fours on the German whispers lines. Now, how are we doing that exactly? So because there are going to be, we know that we can never put 4 in any of these positions, don't we? So the 4s are on the 2 whispers lines, where the sort of blue digits are at the ends like this. So there are 2 whispers lines like that. Yeah, I think there are 2 whispers lines like that, and I've got to put 4 fours. So, you know, if these were the whispers lines that had, and I've got to allocate 4 fours. Yeah, so you can never put a 4 in the crook, if you like, at the dog leg, because if you do, the maximum number of 4s on this whispers line is now 1, because neither of these can be a 4. And then I'd have to put 3 4s on the other whispers line, which is so ludicrous. It's a concept so ludicrous, it's like a debigulator. It wouldn't work. So, in fact, what you have to do is, for the whispers lines that have low ends, like this one, for example, if this had a low end, you have to put the 4s at the ends. And that's going to put 2 9s. Yeah, okay, so there's going to be 2 whispers lines that have this sort of construction. 4s at the ends to allow 2 4s to participate on the whispers line, and 2 9s on the internal cells. Which means, yeah, it's quite interesting. For example, these can't be the 2, can they? Because if this one did have this structure, this cell can't be a 9. So this, actually look, then the ends see each other as well. So at least one of these 2 has a double 4 in its tips. Ah, okay, that's great. That's great, because it's not this one. This one doesn't have 2 4s here, because that would put 2 9s here, and they are in the same box of the puzzle. So this one is the other configuration. So it has high digits here and low digits in its middle. And this one must have 2 4s. Right, so we need to get rid of this, because this is all nonsense over here. That was hypothesizing. Because we know that both of these can't both have the double 4 at the end. This one can't have double 4 at the end at all. This one does have double 4 at the end. Double 9 here. And now this can't be a 9, this can't be a 9, and this can't be a 9 on the middle thing. So 9 is in one of 2 places on this sequence. 9 is up there. So the 9 in this box is definitely not on a line. So the 9 here, if we think about it, we worked out there are 45 was the maximum number of digits that could possibly be on lines in a puzzle of this nature. This particular puzzle has 39 digits on lines, and we now know that one of the 9s is definitely not on a line. So this 9 here is contributing to the that difference between the 45 max and the 39 in this actual puzzle. That 9 is contributing to that difference. So there are 6 differences, and that's one of them. Now, how do we do this then? Well, no, now. Yeah, this is perfect, isn't it? I think it's perfect. Because look at this one. Can that have a double 4 at the end? No. Because then these two are going to be 9s. And that's going to prevent me from putting a 9 on this renban in the middle. So that doesn't work either. So this one is also high digits with low digits in the middle, and this one is a double 4 line. So this is double 4, this is double 9. Now we get a 9 in the middle of the puzzle. We've got another 9 up here that's not on a line. And we should probably, well, this is a low digit, that's a 1, 2 or 3, that's a low digit, that's a 1, 2 or 3. These are all low digits, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. The oranges are all high digits, and you can't put 6 in the middle of the dog leg, because that's going to be surrounded by double 1. 9, actually 9 can't go on this one at all, 9 can't go there at all, actually 9 can't go here at all either. So there's a few things we're able to immediately say from that perspective. 9, let's double click 9s and see if Sudoku can be friendly. 9 is on this line, so this line, which we don't understand at all, has a 9 on it. It could have 2 9s on it if there was another 9 up here. That digit is a 6, 7 or 8, so it appears on this renban. Where does it appear? It can't be in its own column, and it can't be in its own box, so it's that one. So that digit is, these two digits are the same. Let's just quickly notate that. So, oh, okay, and that digit by Sudoku then is going here. So that's a 6, 7 or an 8. Okay, there's got to be a 6 on this renban, and that one actually. And that, oh right, hang on. 9 is not on any of these 3-cell renbans. Now remember, those renbans are made up entirely of the digits 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 previously, but now 5, 6, 7 and 8. And they've all got to be a consecutive sequence. So now we're only picking from 4 digits. 6 and 7 have to be on all these lines. Which might be important. Yeah, actually this one's the best one, isn't it? I can see I can do something with that one. Yeah, let's look at this one. If this one was 876, this cell couldn't exist. So this one is not 876, so it is 567. Let's just put that in, because I think that's going to matter. Well, first it makes that an 8, which is a lovely digit for us. Secondly, hang on, the A digit was this one, which is now 6 or 7. So this is not 8 anymore. And now, okay, now where's 8 in row 5? It's got to be here. There's a 5, 6, 7 triple in the row. So that's got to be 8. So, and that eight's now appeared on the Renban. Our IcyFruit, you are so ludicrously clever. It is frightening. This digit is 6 or 7. That can't be next to 3 on a whisper. Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Right. Why is that exciting me? Well, let's think about the nature of these whisper lines overall. Because look at these 2 digits. These 2 digits are next to tiny, well, they're next to 6s and 7s on whispers. 6s and 7s, what can they be next to? Only 1s and 2s, because we need digits that are at least 5 different. So these digits are very low, that's very low, and that's 3. That's 3 digits on these green lines that have to be only 1s and 2s. And there can't be more than 3 of those. Because the maximum number of really low digits we can put on any of the lines in the puzzle is 1 1 and 2 2s. And that is what these digits are. So that's a 3. And everything else on these whisper lines, that's a 3. That's a 3. Hang on, let's just make absolutely sure. I'm just going to... Okay, no, all right, that is all of them. That is, we've now highlighted all of the whisper lines. Oh, that was glorious, but it's actually not done me well. Oh no, it has. No, it has. I'm aligning this very unfairly. 3, that's quite a punchy digit. That can only be next to 8s and 9s. So this is now an 8-9 pair. Now this isn't a 9, which means this is a 9. I can feel I'm losing my voice. That's terrible, isn't it? Unfortunately, I think I'm coming down with a lurgy, which is, oh, this is an 8 by Sudoku now. Which would be a tragic way to stop the run of Cracking the Cryptic videos. Okay, 4 is in one of those cells. 4? Yeah, that's interesting. 4, we've had 4 4s on lines now. So I can't, in this box, I was thinking I could put 4 here, but I can't. Because if I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 4s on lines, so I can't put 4 on a line again, or there would be 5 4s on lines, and that's expressly against the rules. So one of those is a 4, but where's 4 in this box? And the answer is I don't, well, actually I do sort of know. It's in this domino, because again it can't be on the line, so I actually get the 4 in box 6. Okay, I get a 4 here as well. That's just straight Sudoku, so I'm getting a lot of 4s placed in the grid. 1, 2, I've got all the 4s placed in the grid. I didn't have to even do anything to get those. Okay. Now, this column looks interesting. In fact, that yeah, here you go. Here we go. That digit, which is a 6 or a 7, has to appear on this Renban. All 3 of these Renbans have the digits 6 and 7 on them, so that one has to go there. And once it goes there, you can't put 8 on this Renban because there's an 8 here. So this is 5, 6, 7, and I can fill it in. Well, I can't fill in the digits, but I can do that. Now I've got a 5, 6, 7 triple in this column. So these digits have to be low. They have to be 1, 2, and 3, and that one's not 3. Oh, so where? Okay, sorry. Where's the simple question was where was 3 in column 3, and that's been available forever, and I just didn't see it. So 3 is in this cell, and one of those 3 cells. This digit is the counterpart of this one. So I've now got a 1, 2 pair in this row. Which might do something for us. Let's think this through. What do we do now? It's been going so well. These digits are known. They are 1, 2 and 8 by Sudoku. Which doesn't do anything. Bother. Is it something to do with knowing those are all the same? Can we make that work for us somehow? I'm not sure. That digit can't be a 3 because of this 3. 3 in box 2 is in one of 4 places, I think. Oh, I see, yeah. So the game I played with 4s, I can play with 3s. All the 3s in this puzzle that can ever be on lines are on the green lines, and there they are. So I can't put 3 on... Oh, I can't by Sudoku. I couldn't have done that anyway. Oh, I did that by far the most complicated way ever. So I could have just done... If you double-click the 3s, you can see that there are enough 3s looking at this box that I could have just written this in. I did it by using line logic, which was entirely unnecessary. That's a 3 now. So what do I need in this box? I need 1, 2. I need the counterpart to this. And whatever this... Well, whatever those two haven't got in terms of 5, 6s and 7s. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is a 1 or a 2 though, just on the row. So that's a 1, 2 pair. This must be a 5, 6 or 7. So now in this row I haven't put 1 and 2 in, so I'm going to do that. Which means these digits are 5, 6 and 7. So that feels like it's trying to do something. I don't know what it is. Bobbins. Are there any easy wins for us to extract from the world here? There probably are. Is it? It can't be to do with... I suppose I know 2 of these are 2s, don't I? Yeah, there you go. That's lovely. I know that these 3 digits consist of 1, 1 and 2 2s. If both of these were 2, I couldn't put 2 in this box, because that one would see that one and that one would see that one. So these are different, and therefore that's got to be a 2. And that's done exactly nothing. Oh dear, sorry, I thought that was going to be an intelligent thing to do, but it hasn't worked at all. What am I meant to do then? I know these are different, so I know that can't be a 1 or a 2. Oh, which I already knew because I've got these 2 in the column. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get stuck now. It's actually been... I've only been going for 43 minutes on an IcyFruit. This is unprecedented. Oh, goodness me. Right, okay. So... do I know the nature of that one somehow? I don't think I do. I think it can be 5, 6, 7 without causing a repeat in the row. It would be more useful if it had 8 on it, because the 8 would have to go there. Then if that was the case, if this was 8, 7, 6, that would be a 5. That would be 6, 7. 6, 7. That's a silly internet meme. Okay, what do we do then? I don't know what to do. Is it going to be... how are we meant to do this? 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure what to do, actually. I've got a bit stuck now. I know those are different. Does that mean those are different? Or is it something to do with how many... I've got to put enough digits on lines without breaking the total, haven't I? How many 9s have I got on lines? Let's double click 9s. The answer is quite a few, actually. I could... Oh no, I can't have more here because of that. Okay, let's think about that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 9s on lines, and that makes sense. Okay, so I've got these 9s up here that are not on lines. So of the gap between 45 being the maximum and 39 being the actual, so I've got sort of 6 degrees of freedom to play with. 2 of those degrees of freedom are taken by 9s not being on the line. So let's do 8s. Now 8s appear on the... See, there's an 8 here. 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, so I've got 4 definite, 5 possible. These can't be 8s either because of this 8-9 pair. So 4 definite, 5 possible. So I think there has to be an 8 on there. If there wasn't, then in this puzzle there are 4 8s out of a maximum of 8 8s. Hang on, that 8 isn't even on a line. Hang on, this doesn't work. Let me just think this through. Let me think this through. So the maximum number of 8s on lines is 8. And that would allow me to get to the number 45. So it's the difference between... So I've got what? I've hardly got any 8s on lines at all. I've actually only got 3. I could get 4. I think I've definitely got to have an 8 here. If I didn't, if I only had 3 8s on lines, then compared to the maximum 8 8s, I would have 5 8s and 2 9s not lined. And 5 plus 2 is 7, which is more than the difference between 45 and 39. It's too many. So 8 is on this thing, I think, and it must be there. And this is 6 7. 6 7 again. That's 5. This is what we were looking at before. This is a 6 7 pair. Oh no, this is glorious. This is it. Okay, and I'm just going to take stock. So now what we're claiming is there are 3 4 8s on lines out of a maximum of 8 8s. So I've lost 4 8s from lines, I've lost 2 9s from lines. So every other digit, including 6 and 7, have to appear on their lines exactly, and 5 have to appear exactly their correct number of times. But I've seen something else. In fact, look, let me just label this. This is 1, 2, and 5 to complete this box. That is not 5. That's not 5 because there's a 5, 6, 7. In fact, this is 5 in the bottom row. This is all starting to kick off now. This is 5 in box 9. Yeah, this is the point I wanted to make in this column. I've still got to put 1 and 5 in the column. I can't put 1 on the line because 1 has appeared on the line in one of those 2 cells, and that's the only instance of 1 that's going on any line. So this is a 1, this is a 5. That's not done what I was hoping it was going to do. These digits are 6 and 7 by Sudoku. So 6, 7 pair in row 1. And let's do 5s now. So, okay, and this is the mistake I made before. I've got to be careful. I can't just double click them and count how many I've actually put in the grid. I've got to check whether they're on lines. So 1, 2, 3, there's one there. 4, there's one on the central remband. 5. Oh, in fact, I know. In fact, look, I know where it goes. It's not there anymore because of this 5, so it goes there. So 5. Yeah, so 5 is in one of 2 places in box 8, I think. That digit must be a bit knowable, isn't it? That's this digit's a naked single. That's weird. Look at the bottom row. We see 4, 5, a 6, 7 pair, a 3 and a 9. So this is 1, 2 or 8, but it sees 1 and 2. So that's 8. So this is an 8. This is an 8. This is a 1, 2 pair. Let's double click 8s. 8s are up there. 8s are up here. And I'm not sure what that means. What? Okay, now the other thing we've got to bear in mind is that we know that there are exactly 6 6s on lines, and we know there are exactly 7 7s on lines. So we know each of these has both 6 and 7 on it, but this had a 6 and a 7 on it, so that's 4 of each. This is complicated though, isn't it? Because although I know this is a 1, 2, I do know this is a 1, 2 pair. I don't think I know these are different. Unless there's some way I'm meant to know that I'm not appreciating. This digit is the digit A in column 6, look, because this is a 6, 7 pair. So imagine this was 6, that will be 7, and that will be 6. So these are the same. Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. Where does that digit go? In box 8. Now you can see it's going to have to be in one of these 2 cells, but there's a 6, 7 pair looking at this cell. So it goes there. That's the digit A. That is 6 or 7. This is a 6, 7 pair. So this is 1 or 2. What do we need in this column then? Oh, 1, 2 and 5 by the looks of things. So 1, 2 or 5, 2 or 5 up there. Bobbins. What? Oh, no, this is a 2. Can't be next to a 6. 2 and 6 are not sufficiently apart. That's been available forever. How did I know this was a 2? Oh, I knew that was a 2 because I couldn't put 2 into either of those. Oh, it's so clever. It's so well structured. So A is 7. A is 7. Wherever we see A, we can just write 7 in. So that's 6. I still don't think I know what that one is, but maybe I do somehow. I just have to work it out. Right, so I got some 7s. I got A6. Is that all I get? Oh, no, I get some more over here. That's an A, isn't it? So that was the same as... Yeah, that is the same as that. So that's a 6. That was a 7. So this is a 5, 6 pair now. That's a 7, so this is a 6. So 6 is in this domino. Let's double click 6s as well and try and keep track of those. Okay, I don't quite know what that means. Okay, let's do a count of 6s and 7s again. I've got... You see, that one isn't on a line. I've got quite a few that are on a line, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got 7. I've got 7 sevens on lines. I'm not allowed any more than that. So this one has to be a 6. That's rather lovely. So that's a 1, not a 2 for the and we know those were different so that we could put that digit in there. So that's 2, that's 1, that's 2, that's 1. That's 6, that's 7. That's 7, that's 6. It's almost been designed around that internet meme, I think, this puzzle. That's 6, that's 5. Right, what do we need in this column? 2, 7, 8. That's a naked single. In fact, this is done. 7, 2. Okay, so these are 3, 5, 9. Let's actually just pop in all the options and see if we can. We're going to be chocolate. No. We're not going to be chocolate teapotted because that's 8. That's 9. So that's not 5. Oh, we are going to be chocolate teapotted. Bother. I'm afraid we are chocolate teapotted. Okay, but we could. What are those digits then? 1. Oh, where's 1 in the top row? Oh, the Sudoku I think is going to be useful here. 1 in the top row seems to have to go there. So this digit is 3 or 5. It's definitely not 9. Are all the lines done now? I think they are. So it ought to be, famous last words, it ought to just be Sudoku from here on out. So how are we going to do that? Good question. I don't know. What about this row? We need 3, 6, and well, that's naked, I think. In fact, that's an 8 I'm now seeing as well. Is this naked? 3, 6, or 9? See, I think that's got to be a 3. So that's going to sort out the chocolate teapot, and that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. This is a 5 now, which feels like a win for the goodies. We haven't put 2 into that's huge. Is that right? Yeah, 3 can go here. That's 2. So that's 1. That's 1. That's 1. That's double 2. This is a 2 by Sudoku. 1, 2. We're there, I think. Yeah, 6, 9. Finished. Maybe. Yes. That was fantastic. What a puzzle. That is so clever, IcyFruit. Again, I'm not going to say I preferred it because, I mean, the satisfaction levels when you solve one of IcyFruit's monsters is off the charts. But that's really, it's got all the cleverness, hasn't it? It's such a beautiful idea, the distribution of digits around these dog-legged whispers, and that being a constraint. And then the way that they all sort of knocked it onto each other was just, it's a superb puzzle, that is. It's superb. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.